All right, it's time.
Times.
You called meeting to order, please. Welcome, everybody. I don't see anything that we need to do for introductions. Looks like this is going to be a short meeting. I don't have anybody from faculty senate here. So hopefully everybody had a chance to review the minutes from last month. And anybody notice anything that need to be corrected? Right. Okay. And you should have had an opportunity to review the agenda for this month. Any additions that we need to do for the agenda?
I'd like to make a addition to the finance on the dashboard. We don't have the dashboard, but I have an update on it that I'd like to present.
Okay. Do so when we do the financial update. Okay. So I would ask for approval of the consent agenda. It's been moved. Could I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion's carried.
You're up.
You're up then.
So the expense report, which is the attachment to
Mhm.
would be the next one. This one was just big payroll for April, and then some furniture upgrades to the nursing, which we were expecting or knew about, our Evergy payments, and then our renewal on Microsoft. So nothing really big or important to point out here on this one. The one I wanted to update is the dashboard that I presented last month for our quarterly dashboard. We had that question about the miscellaneous income come up. I did some more digging in that in the interim between our CFOs. We just had some receipting that had gotten put into miscellaneous out of not knowing where it needed to go. So we're correcting that and doing some adjustments to that. You'll see that reflected in the next dashboard, which will be June.
I do have a quick question, and I do want quick. I can never remember what's other operating costs, because it's the second largest category that we have.
Our other operating costs are, I can tell you.
TTP, what it takes to balance or what?
That's the Pentagon.
I did that one time. That got thrown out of the room.
I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry. give it a-
Well, I can get it offline if nobody else is interested. The whole thing, I just.
Yeah. So our operating costs are, like our signage, all of that rolls into those other operating costs that Microsoft renewal rolls into our other operating costs. Anything labeled operating is going into that operating cost unless it's specifically ALC.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I bet you, all our large licensure renewals like
Yeah.
Canvas, all IT software renewals, all these, but yeah.
Yeah, IT, it's a lot of IT in there.
Great, thank you.
Question.
Photography, Amazon, all those kinds of things.
Any other questions for finance? Operations.
So we got through without any storm damage. We looked everything over the day. Everything looks fine.
No water?
What's that?
No water?
Nope. So, yeah, it's a nice change of pace to not have to broom out the ponds every time this happens. No, yeah, it held up well and, even the RTC, the whole building over there is always a concern and it did well too. We did some roof repairs recently. on the wall.
We're hoping for a specific light.
Straight line.
Right there.
The other thing I was gonna update on is just today, we received notice that we will get a Department of Labor visit for OSHA compliance. June 4th. No reason other than just it's our time on the timeline geographically, we weren't reported or anything like that. influence, it will be set up to where if they were to find anything, it wouldn't we wouldn't be fined for it. We would just have a 60-day timeline to get it addressed, photo evidence sent back. The last one we had was about 5 years ago, and I think we've came a long way since then. We still have the little outbuildings out here, a lot of issues. So I think, I don't expect any problems. They'll go through things like our extension cords, if there's little nicks here or there, ladder, all that type of thing. So,
Too many overloaded extension cords instead of permanent wiring,
yeah,
space heaters under desks.
It's better they come in June than in November.
November.
yeah, they also have a section where they'll want to go through all of our signage and emergency preparedness planning and the OSHA latest names and all of those things. But I think we're in pretty good shape. So we'll get set up for that on June 4th and then report on that at the next one.
You know, good MSDS and all that.
Yeah, that's the sheet. Some of our program, we maintain them each in different program area, and some of them have moved to smaller electronic catalog. That's all on the main front page and the last go around. At one time we were told you couldn't keep anything electronic, but now you can. Yeah. So that helped a lot. But then some of them still have they might keep the binder, but we do go through them and they are up to date.
And it is, that electronic version is accessible to everyone, students.
Yep.
Faculty, adjuncts, everybody. Okay.
Yeah, they keep you.
They will nail you on that hard.
Yeah, the other one we've been kicking back and forth on, so like the OSHA, the signage and the poster, the OSHA laws. We have one up in our main break room and the language states something like, as long as it's easily accessible by all employees in a space that is visited regularly. Something pretty vague like that, which to me that passes, but then you can make the case, do we need to get one out here in this break room and all of that. So we're just gonna ask them some of those questions. I don't want to just start hanging up unnecessary posters all over the place, but we'll see what the guidance is.
I think it has to be just one main, if I remember correctly.
Be the main break room or whatever.
Yeah.
That's all I have for now.
So the nurses got all their recliners and everything. They're very good. Faculty Senate.
No report this month.
Hey.
We adjourn.
Let's go.
Oh, you're supposed to move to accept the faculty center.
Oh, move to and compliment them on the brevity.
Yes. Academics.
It's quiet too.
Yeah.
One quick question, were we affected on the Canvas?
Oh, that's a Josh.
Yeah,
That's a
No,
joke.
no, we weren't, but
we did follow it along as closely as we could, sent out updates as needed as it went along. We did have about, I don't know, 12 hours of just completely downtime inaccessible where they were trying to roll out patches and damage control. As far as where they're at now, none of they've paid the ransom. So all the data that was affected, it was email addresses, student IDs, and then a lot of the focus was on internal messaging. So Canvas uses kind of its own internal messaging system from faculty back to students. All of that was breached. They're all, I want to say like 9,000 colleges, Harvard and some big players, but no, long story short, it's moved forward from and we're case closed, so.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask since that was a
Yeah, no good, for sure.
huge thing. Nothing on policies, student services.
Main thing there was our ceremonies last week. Friday was nurses pinning and commencement, and Saturday's commencement. Nurses pinning and commencement, we had probably over 60 nurses graduate. So it's the healthiest graduation class we've had since before COVID. Went very well. And I would wager they're all getting ready to take their licensure exam before long.
Soon, hopefully.
Friday or Saturday, place was almost full, both balcony and the main floor. And we'll have two other programs added to the commencement next May with with electrician training and the computer support services program. So, you know, some of the staff are like, uh-oh, we're gonna run out of room. We'll take that problem for a while. Yeah, great crowd, good graduates, couple of backflips.
1.5.
One was a 10 out of 10, the other one was about a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I was texting with a friend of mine that I grew up with, and he was at one of his grandkids' graduation at University of Wyoming, and he said somebody did a backflip on their platform too, so it's a trend. It's better than the St. Louis Cardinals where there's a whole section out in the stands. They don't wear shirts anymore, so.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, the other fun thing at nursing was, Laura found out one of the students' birthday. She said that when she said her name, so we sang happy birthday from everybody for that student and embarrassed her. Blade Mages did a great job speech, so if you see him, please tell him thank you. Staff, super job setting everything up, faculty engagement. I mean, I thought it was one of our best commencement ceremonies. Attendance and just the whole attitude and environment. You know, thanks for being there. We also had a lady from KBOR on adult ed, Julie Clark. She addressed the adult ed graduates, which we had a full row.
And that wasn't even all of them.
No, those are the ones that choose to walk.
Yeah, great year this year. We should have.
Well, I'm curious, do you have any, out of all the graduates, do you have any preliminary rough estimates as to what kind of career placement they have at this point in time?
Not yet, that'll be, there's a lag time on it, but I would say anecdotally and from past trends, probably 85% already have a job lined up, had it lined up before graduation.
Great.
Yeah.
All I heard from the programs was, you know, ones and twos that didn't have something when they walked the stage.
Yeah, welding's a good example. They did their Landall visit pretty late in the semester this year, and when they were like, yeah, anybody looking for a job, there were only like 1 or 2 out of the 25 or so that didn't have a job. So,
And it's really between the occupational work experience, internships, some of the other things, they get that relationship with the employers early, and if they like it, the employer likes them, you got a lock. One of our biggest advantages. It was two good days of why we do all we do.
It was in the nursing graduation. The lower level was full and there's a few people upstairs, not many upstairs, but
Said we had electrician and computer support specialist. Probably run out of room, but that's okay.
it's a bad problem to have.
Let's pause on resource development just for a minute so I can talk. The rural healthcare transformation grant that we did with Wamego Health Center. Chris got notified by the state group that is processing all those, that they have so many, it's gonna take a while for them to do it. They're not gonna make their original target date of decisions. So that's still hanging out there. I kind of feeling we'll hear before the end of June. But we'll see. I'm working on the Department of Defense Community Impact
Infrastructure.
Program. Thank you. John knows a lot about it. A huge help along with Christian Bishop at the chamber. I've had meetings over the past several days with some external groups to get them lined up for statements of support in the proposal. Vern Hendricks and I talked. This grant will pay for construction. It doesn't pay for all the other stuff. So it's kind of the flip of this building where we had to borrow the money to build it. We had pretty good way to get the other parts done. This is a flip. But Vern's very willing to work with us. He said he'd probably assign one of his fundraising VPs to actually help with us, you know, if we get the funding. But I want to write it that got all these commitments in the proposal. Also met with Jason Hilgers and Daniel Doolin today. They're on board. We met with Eric Reed last week from 383. It took him a little while to grasp it. And first he was kind of, and then he came, oh yeah. Oh, I think that'll be good. Tomorrow I'm meeting with the Ascension Via Christi president and the fellow from the foundation. Got a meeting with John Ford on Friday. So it's coming together with that. Building plan at this point, Dan from BBN is on jury duty this week. But he and Andrew and Josh have been working on. We're looking at probably somewhere between 32 and 38,000 square foot, 2-story building. This would be a life and health science facility. With the city, we talked about, because the guys here mentioned, to get approval from the city to do a bus pull-in lane. So that they could easily drop people off, because the more Eric thought about it, the more, yeah, we could do a lot to avoid needing a second high school. In essence, our campus could be that. We'd have college students in the afternoons for some programs. We know there's going to be at least 3 proposals for the commander to review. He gets to endorse one as a priority. We're hoping to be the one. So that's going to have my undivided attention for the next couple of weeks. Anything I'm missing?
Yeah, I think when you say it pays for part of the construction, it won't build the whole building, but
It does the bulk of it though.
there's a lot of, you gotta show that where the other money's coming from and all that.
And we don't have to have the matching requirement. We can
Right.
do the exemption, which is a big help. That's where that is on resource development.
I don't see anything that we need to do for governance reporting. So monthly update.
So you've got my report. It's pretty brief, but most of it's been related to either DSIP or outcomes funding. Working with the other tech college folks, we have it down to our preferred approach is 3 items to be reviewed for outcomes funding. Up with Senator Scott a couple weeks ago on that. Got a meeting with him and the community college lobbyist first part of June, because at some point we'll connect with community colleges to work up the draft to take to the legislature. It's that one. The vehicle donation and auto tech for Homestead, that was a cool event. Homestead helps people recover from human trafficking, sex trafficking. So that it was educational for, I think, all our employees and our students get involved with that a little bit. You've got attachment 6. John and I visited. He had a good idea, and so this is putting together a little more structured process on how we look at our strategic directions moving forward. So hopefully you had a little time to review it. This would involve a couple more people, probably the VPs here or CFO, 1 or 2 board members, so that I could share what I'm seeing. I want things to go, but this group would have a chance to reflect on that, do some work with it, raise the questions that I need raised for things, so we kind of put it together in a more comprehensive approach. What am I missing, John?
I think that's it.
Because I know some of our folks get worried about how much is in my head versus there. And things do move quickly. So unless there's objections, we'll probably move forward to implement this as soon as possible.
This doesn't appear that at this point in time it requires anything for board approval.
Not really, just hopefully there's consensus that we proceed. It's more of, do you see something you don't like, or I think it'll be a good process to use. The Summer Institute we're going to with our AFIT group. I've been going through a lot of the coaching on that from a separate path. And our team will be working on 2 projects that they're gonna ask every team that's there. One is called a core project, something you're currently doing that you want to, where can you integrate AI and automate and be better? It's all about how you start looking at scaling and transformation. And we have plenty of possible targets for that core, from business office to all sorts of things. Neil's building some of it out with Laura's help with Slate right now, working with IT. Emily has been fast to look at some of the things we have, like the credit card reconciliation, payroll. That yes, we can do it with Genzabar, but it's a bit clunky and cumbersome. Is there a better path that frees up more staff time to do more important things? So that's core. The other project called Edge, because this model that they're basing this off of is you build kind of like a digital twin at the edge of your organization that can run with stuff faster. You kind of see, okay, is this working? So you can start migrating more to that AI scaled approach. And we have some pretty good ideas on that as well with that parallel component I've been talking about for years that's more based on, we call it more professional credit. It's not tied to college credit, but it is tied to credentials or licensures and how fast we can run with that. So in that strategic directions process you just looked at, a lot of it will involve those 2 areas. We keep improving on the core, but how do we start doing stuff on the edge to drive that? Thank you. Ready, John?
John, you're on the hot seat now.
Well, the cool thing with all of you, Dan is going to exit from his term. Heather is as well. And I say this almost every month, but we mean it. I'm not just saying it for me. Each iteration of the board, Tim's been on the longest and David, but each iteration gets better and better. The questions you ask, the comments you raise, the ideas you raise, your skepticism is a positive in terms of keeping us on our toes. Dan's had fun picking on some of our IT stuff, some of our policies and stuff. It's fun because Josh will come talk to me later. He goes, why didn't I think of that? Well, that's why we have you folks, because sometimes we don't think of everything.
Nobody can.
Right, and it's that breadth of experience. John and I talk frequently. He's always got good questions for me, good ideas. Dave, you've helped us so much with a lot of things financially. Tim has his ear to the ground in a lot of places. Heather, your questions and Brett's on a lot of the facility stuff been very helpful. I hope you know that we take all of that. It's a big value to us. So a couple of last things. I'd like to get my evaluation process going so we can do that at the June board meeting before the couple of members leave. And then we know we have one or two vacancies, so we need to find at least one person from Pot County, a new person to add to the board. The other opening could be filled from any of the counties we serve. We have approached one person in Pottawatomie County with understanding they might be interested, so we have shared the application and some information. Any comments or questions, ideas?
I know, Heather, you're stepping away, right? But are there any, maybe this has come up in a previous meeting, I can't remember, but are there any terms expiring?
Mine is
Yeah,
expired.
she's at the end of her term, but
Right.
that's it.
But I'm stepping off midterm.
The one thing to think of is how do we keep getting a fairly diverse background of business and industry sectors? And we have that with all of you, but that's the one thing to keep in mind. Do this in record time.
Yeah. Well, Brian's not here, so we'll put it on Brian. Put that on us on Brian. So yeah, just have Susie get that questionnaire sent out. For your evaluation and
I should mention, we are losing Susie.
I don't remember approving that. I still don't remember approving
I
that.
was trying to find it.
He has a great opportunity for her. Hard to lose her. We'll review the job description. Tentatively, we're looking at it to have more specific duties tied to foundation alumni and events. So she's made a big impact, especially with events. She's got that momentum going on the drop. Been a big help. We have 3 nursing faculty leaving. One with a husband relocation to another state, one taking a better job in the industry, one relocating to help with some family health projects. We have hired, how many new folks so far? In nursing,
3, right? 2 PN and 1 ADN.
ADN. The increase in compensation has definitely helped us get some better applicants.
As of the present time, I may be moving. I'll still be employed in Riley County, so I can be a representative yet through Riley County. But I would want to step aside as the chair since I'll be an hour away from here. So close to it, and so that's something to keep in mind coming up as well. So keep that in your minds also.
We do have a board meeting in June. We don't have one scheduled for July unless there's an emergency. We've usually skipped July back in August. We have one exec session.
David just got his script.
Mr. Chair, I move that we go into an executive session at 6:58. Yes. 5:58, sorry, 5:58, to discuss financial affairs or trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individuals.